by here in a minute. But I'm going to bring your next comic. Put your hands together right now for Holly Kennedy.
Thank you. Well, I got a lot of mixed messages when I was growing up. For instance, when we were with our mom in the country, we would drive 40 miles one way to get to church. And then every other weekend, we'd go to the city to see our dad, who told us that if God really wanted us to go to church, he wouldn't have put Star Trek on Sundays. Also, when I was a kid, neurodivergence was called cuckoo, and OCD was called batshit crazy. And I did a lot of wacky things back then, but in my defense, everything that I was doing was to protect my family from getting a disease and dying. I know, it doesn't make sense, but for instance, I had to store my shoes in the middle of doorways so that my family didn't get a disease. And to show their appreciation, they called me Disease Girl, which is a really shitty superhero name, but they didn't know any better. I'll never forget the day I was about 15 and my brother said, "Hurry, get in here. There's someone like Holly on TV." And I thought, I wonder if she plays the flute and likes spelunking. Turns out it was a middle-aged man on the Phil Donahue show. Yeah, he couldn't make it up a flight of stairs without flipping the light switch 3 times. So for the first time since I was 10, I felt kind of normal. So when someone says to me, "I'm a little OCD," I think, bitch, get a grip. You are tidy, and you like symmetry. But did you ever spend hours writing out homework assignments without pushing the pencil down, and then turn in blank sheets of paper to keep your parents alive? I know. I was a very charitable and hardworking little girl. But thankfully, I was able to overcome those compulsions with counseling and determination. And then my dad got brain cancer and died. I know what some of you may be thinking. No, I do not blame myself. I blame that bitch therapist who convinced me that my rituals weren't helping anyone. This may come as a shock, but I've never been married or had kids. I do have a diabetic cat who depends on me, and I've been in a relationship for 15 years. Not long ago, he got down on one knee and asked if we could finally get a witness and make it legal, which I thought was a very romantic way of asking if we could turn off each other's life support. Yeah, we signed our living will documents, and then we went out for tacos and margaritas. It was a special day. But don't feel sorry for me, for real. Marriage, was never a big priority of mine. It seems like a lot of commitment, and I'm very independent. I like a lot of solitude. He's independent. He likes a lot of social interaction. So people wonder how we made it last so long, how it works so well. What's our secret? And I say we have 2. We make each other laugh every day, and he has a really, really big garage. And that's where he spends most of his time. A couple of quick facts. I'm 52 years old. I've been a vegetarian for 30 years, and perimenopause is no joke, okay? I wasn't ready for the hot flashes and the hair loss, weight gain. My guy knows that I'm holistic, so he told me that orally ingesting semen can help with hormone regulation. I know. And semen is vegan, even if he had a steak that day. Yeah, so now he goes around the house humming "A Spoonful of Sugar," helps the medicine. Oh, the other day I said, "Hold on, Mary Poppins. I can't breathe through my nose right now." He said, "No worries, darling, because according to Cleveland Clinic, sexual activity can help with chest congestion and a stuffy nose." Yeah, this motherfucker covers more bases than Jackie Robinson. Now he calls himself a doctor and offers me free unlimited hormone therapy. Oh, I was reading to my little 5-year-old nephew the other day, and after I said, he was a honky-tonky winky wonky donkey, he put his little hand on my arm and he said, Aunt Holly, did you know that asshole rhymes with asshole? You all, I did not think that I was being long-winded when I told my guy about going to brunch with a friend, but when I got finished with my little story, he said, okay, well, I made my eggs over easy today, and then I buttered my gluten-free toast and put honey in my green tea, and then my balls started to itch, so I scratched them. Fair enough. Next time he started telling me about one of his volleyball matches and going into all the special plays, I said, hey, Lovey, my balls are itching. And yeah, now when one of us goes on too long, the other one gives a hand signal. You know, because we're a highbrow couple. I was talking to my mom on the phone, and she's a very serious woman. And I thought, I'm going to share this little story about our new shorthand with her. And I did, and it made her, you know, she laughed, it made my week, and then I forgot about it. And cut to a couple of weeks ago, we were visiting my parents, and as we were saying our goodbyes, my mom hugged my guy and said, hey, I'm sorry if I made your balls itch earlier. I know. If you all knew my mom, that would be my closer. But since you don't, I was in line at Costco in the self-checkout, and my phone rang, I picked it up, my guy starts talking. As soon as he took a breath, I said, hey, my balls are itching. And he couldn't hear, so I repeated it louder, and the man in line in front of me turned around holding a hot dog in one hand and a case of toothpaste in the other, and he said, ma'am, they have a powder for that. Thank you. I teach yoga, and I think it's interesting to hear the different reasons that people start to practice yoga. For example, I had one of my regulars bring 3 friends to class last week, and her only request was that we end our practice in a supine twist, which, you know, I had mentioned could help with complete elimination. So yeah, those ladies don't give a hoot that transcending self-awareness is the key to enlightenment. Nope. All they're seeking is a transcendental bowel movement, or as my yogis call it, a holy shit. Thank you. This woman is amazing. Late Christmas present. Yeah, so my guy took me out to a nice dinner recently, and I'll be honest, I had a little wine buzz and some resentment. So I was venting about how I wish he would just speak to me in my love language instead of always in his. You know, just sometimes. I appreciate that he unclogs the sink drain and changes the oil in the car, but it would be great to hear some words of affirmation, you know, every now and then. And he said, you're funny, just like that. Yeah, it pissed me off because I wasn't on stage and I wasn't telling any fucking jokes, you know? So I got a little louder, and he interrupted me. He said, Holly, I am having a serious deja vu moment here. And I rolled my eyes, and he said, no, really, we were at this exact table, you were dressed in all black, and you were giving me shit. And I said, first of all, it was the table behind you. And second, what's your point? He said, I don't have a point, it just seems like you expect me to do a triple backflip and finish in the splits. And I said, I've never expected the splits. I just wish you could stick the landing on the triple backflip, you know? And without missing a beat, he said, and I wish you had a stronger libido and more profitable jokes. Touche. All right. So I made the mistake of looking at my receipt when I got out of the pet supply store the other day, and I had been given the senior discount. Yeah, and it hit me at the wrong moment in time. So I went back in there. I waited until no one was around because I'm not a psycho. Went up to the cashier. I said, "Young man, I don't know how old you think I am, but I'm in my early 50s. I'm not a senior citizen. I mean, I still get my period sometimes." He said, "Oh, well, I'm sorry, ma'am. It was just a random act of kindness, and I didn't think you'd ever find out because the only people who ever ask for a paper receipt are senior citizens." So I put my hand in my pocket, and I gave him a piece of butterscotch candy. And now I drive across town and pay full price for my cat litter like all the other spring chickens. Thank you all very much.
Keep it going for Holly Kennedy, everybody. She doesn't even know how little I'm paying her for tonight, so that's going to be awkward.